Moving right along. I do for a second. As we hasten through this, go to Bronny James. He was a dud tonight. You call him. Well, I was gonna. Never mind, I won't do that. Bronny James. Man, I'm looking at his stat line. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 4. He missed 4 shots, so he didn't do it. He missed 4 shots and did nothing else. He ran around. About the only thing Bronny James did outside of what we did tonight was throw the ball up. We shot the same percentage. We got the same amount of rebounds. We got the same assists. Everything we did was the same. We just didn't run around on an NBA floor and have a jersey on. Bronny James has gotten the opportunity. Again, I will say this first and foremost. He's a young man. I wish the best for him. I don't root. They're not. Are there guys I root against? Absolutely. Bronny James has done nothing to me, or he is LeBron James' son. There are pros. There are a lot of pros. There are more pros to come with that than cons. But one of the cons is when you get on the basketball court, people see James and they gonna look at you and be like, "What you got going on? You need to be somebody." And right now, I will say this, and I'm all for it. Listen, there's nepotism everywhere. I'm all for more black nepotism that goes. I'm cool with it. LeBron got his kid into the league, and he forced him into LA. That is no different than an executive in a company for getting their kid into whatever school, getting their kid into whatever role and position, and rolling them right up into whatever they end up doing. So this happens in the real world. Again, this is different because it's televised. We're looking at it. I just say all that to say I have no problem with Bronny James as a person. I wish the best for him. He's not ready for the NBA. It's very clear he's not ready for the NBA. He probably at best he should be in the G League or whatever. I think there is talent there. I don't think there's no question there's talent that he has. It's just not NBA level talent. I don't know if it'll ever be really NBA level talent as far as what he can be. I don't know what he can be. But having a last name James helps out. But right now, again, you saw him at USC, and he's also coming back from the heart issue as well. Probably I don't want to say he came back too fast, but he came back, and he didn't have a full season at USC. He should have gone back. Like, at the very least, he should have been a 3 or 4 year player at USC or wherever he decided to transfer in college. And then we say, okay, what kind of skill set do you have? But right now, I guess my expectations are very low for Bronny James. And I don't know. I feel like there are gonna be guys that try him. Like I think if they don't put him in the G League, there are gonna be guys that go out there and say, I gotta make a name for myself. And Bronny James is the guy who I'm gonna go out and go after. And let me cross him up. Let me dunk on him. Let me show. Hey, I couldn't get you, Bron, but your kid gonna get some of this work. I think that's out there for him. And lessons gonna have to be learned. Welcome to the NBA.
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing that they're playing together. The father-son thing, it's very rare. We talked about this before the show, right? But I do think that it's going to be fun for the first couple of weeks. Okay, LeBron James playing with his son. Okay, right? And hopefully they're throwing alley-oops to each other. There's some highlight reels. Most likely that's probably not going to happen because I think when Bron is on the court and Bronny's on the court, I think Bronny's going to be probably playing against some starters unless J.J. Redick really picks and chooses who he's going against. And right now, Bronny James is nowhere near being that caliber of player. Having said that, you got to do something because it's LeBron James playing with his son. Okay, great. But if you're not out there balling too, I think people are going to get over it. And at some point, it's going to look bad. There's going to be a whole lot of did not plays out there. So it's like, yeah, your son's on the roster. If he's on the active roster, I remember there was some pushback about, I think Rich Paul said Bronny wasn't going to sign a 2-way contract. So there was this is a situation where it has to be managed the right way. You have a first-year head coach in J.J. Redick. Remember, the NBA get rid of you after 1 year. They're not going to give coaches 2 and 3 years like the NFL will. So you've got to be very, very careful in how you manage the situation. I think Bronny can develop. I agree with you. I think you see a lot of traits there, but no, he's not ready there. Now the question is, how much do the Lakers want to force playing him? How much do the Lakers want to force putting him out there on the court? Is it going to be a situation where they say, hey, LeBron, we're going to give you 5 minutes with your son every night, right? And then the question is that detrimental? If people gunning for Bronny and if people putting, they putting up threes on his head, they doing this left and right, they dunking on him, man. He's out there looking crazy. I mean, there's a lot to be managed with this situation, but I guess we can all feel good about it for the first couple of weeks of the season.
So nepotism is something that happens throughout the world, like you said, Trey. I mean, you see it in the PGA Tour with Tiger Woods getting Charlie Woods PGA Tour exemptions when the boy don't deserve to be out there. He getting his head beat in. Just a fact. And, shout out to Monique. She told us don't hate on Bronny Jr., but I don't know
and for that's my mother. Hello. Your son's in here. My mom's in here. What's going on? She said, I'm not hating on. I'm not hating on Bronny Jr.
Shout out.
I'm not hating on.
Matter of fact, shout out to Miss Monique. Then let's keep it. Let's keep it a buck.
Right. Hey, Mrs. Crosby, thank you for joining us. And Mrs. Crosby, tell y'all not to hate on Bronny. Y'all better not hate on Bronny. Y'all better move on. Move on with your life. Mrs. Crosby told y'all.
Miss Monique. I am an HBCU veteran. I am a CIAA dude. I am a MEAC fan. And the only thing I'm going to tell you about Bronny, I think it's great that he's there. I appreciate it. I appreciate what LeBron has done. However, when I look at Mr. CIAA Player of the Year, when I look at Mr. MEAC Player of the Year, Mr. SWAC Player of the Year, Mr. SIAC Player of the Year, and these brothers don't even get the chance to sniff a court, and they're better than this kid, I got issue with that. Now, it's a dude playing, and I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina right now. So you can look to my right, you can see A&T, you can look to my left, you can see Winston-Salem State. They both had guys who haven't gotten this opportunity. I appreciate what LeBron is doing, but let's just make sure you're bringing up more than just Bronny. Bring these other guys with you that deserve a shot. But where Bronny's really going to get it, he's going to get it in that G League because those guys got way more to prove than them NBA dudes. Because I think them NBA dudes look at him and they're like, yo, you're not like us. Shout out to Kendrick. But them G League dudes, they're like, hey, you took a spot I should have, and I'm really got something to prove. Shout out to Lil Baby.